Today we are going to be making a delicious fall dessert. We are making Pastel de tres leches con calabaza, which is pumpkin tres leches cake. It's like taking the two best things in the world and putting together in one. Who doesn't love pumpkin cake at this time of year, and who doesn't love tres leches? This is very, very simple. The first thing that we're going to do, I've laid out all my ingredients here, and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take 2 sticks of butter and I'm going to add them to my mixer with some sugar, 2 cups of sugar, and then I'm going to start that mixer. Then I'm going to add, as soon as that creams together, I'm going to add 4 eggs. Add my eggs one at a time to my butter and my sugar. I have 2 teaspoons of Mexican vanilla, 1.5 cups of pumpkin, a cup of Mexican crema. If you don't have Mexican crema available to you, you can use sour cream. Alright, these are my dry ingredients. I have 3 cups of flour. I've got 2 teaspoons of baking soda. I have a teaspoon of cinnamon, and then I have 1/4 teaspoon of ground clove, 1/4 teaspoon of ginger, and 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg, and I'm adding that right in to my mixture here, and I'm going to do about half of it, and then I'm going to let it mix, and then add the other half. Okay, so I'm going to let this mix for about 2 minutes on a medium speed here with my mixer, and then we'll be ready to put it in the pan. Okay, so now we're ready to get our pan ready, and I'm just going to spray it with some non-stick cooking spray. This is a 9x13 pan, but you could also use 2 9-inch rounds. I'm just kind of feeling like doing the rectangle today. So we're going to remove this. Okay, we're just going to go ahead and put this in to our baking dish. I've got my oven set at 350 degrees. And this is going to go for 55 to 60 minutes. So while our cake is in the oven, we're going to quickly make our whipped topping for the top of our cake. And what we're going to need is 2 cups of heavy cream into the mixer. And the powdered sugar, it's just kind of going to depend upon how sweet you like your cream. So we're going to start off with about 1/2 cup. And go from there, because you can always add more, but you can't take away. And we'll get an idea for how it tastes. And if you want yours to be a little sweeter, then just add a little bit more. One thing that you don't want to do is you don't want to over mix your cream, because then you'll have butter. So take that into consideration and keep your eye on it at all times. Take a peek in here, you can see that it's starting to form the cream. So I'm going to add just a little bit of Mexican vanilla. And this is probably going to go for about another minute. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to put it in my refrigerator until we're ready to use it. As you can see how that looks. That's how you want your cream to look. Okay, so we're going to throw this in the refrigerator until our cake is ready. The next step, we're going to take a cup of cream. Heavy cream would be perfect. A cup of evaporated milk. And then 1 cup of condensed milk. And we're going to mix those together. And that is going to be our tres leches that actually goes on top of the cake when the cake is done. So following me here, we're just kind of getting all this prep work done, so when our cake's out, we just don't have a lot to do, but just throw it together. So we're just going to mix that together, And then we're just going to wait for our cake to come out of the oven, and I'll show you the next step. Okay, so we've got our cake out of the oven, and I've been poking holes with a fork all over my cake. Now my cake's been cooling down for about 15-20 minutes, so it's still warm, but it's not hot. And you want to make sure you pay close attention to the edges of your cake, because sometimes when people do tres leches, they forget to poke holes on the edges and they kind of just focus on the middle, so then the middle is all nice and moist, but your edge is not. So you'll want to make sure that you do that. And then after I get the holes poked into this, we'll move to the next step. Now I'm going to take my tres leches, my 3 milks, and I'm going to pour this over the top of my cake. And I'm not going to hurry it. That's a mistake that some people make, is they try to hurry it and then all of the liquid goes to the bottom of the cake pan, and we don't want that. So we're just going to kind of let it absorb slowly. So the longer this sits in the refrigerator, the better, but you're at least going to want to do an hour. So I've taken some saran wrap and put it over the top of my cake, and now I'm going to go ahead and put it in my refrigerator for about an hour. If you can do longer, for sure, do longer. And then we'll do our last step. Okay, this has been in our fridge for about an hour. And we are ready for the final step. Boy, this looks good. Alright, so our cake's ready. I've gone ahead and cut a piece. We're going to add some of the whipped topping we made right to the top of it. Now I love whipped topping, so I can't get enough. And then what I did, I took a little bit, I reserved just a little bit of the 3 milks, and I just kind of decorated around the plate a little bit. And then I have taken some chopped walnuts, and you'll want to do these two things separate, because you might have those that don't like whipped cream, and you might have those that don't like nuts, so they can put it on themselves. And I took a tablespoon of brown sugar and a few sprinklings of cinnamon and mixed it with my nuts. And I'm just going to sprinkle my nuts right over the top, do a few down around the plate. Okay, so of course I have to have the taste of this to see how delicious that it is. And I'm not going to be shy. I'll just dig right in there. This is so delicious. If you love tres leches and you love pumpkin, you're going to love this recipe. Meet me back here for some more great recipes. Until then, we'll see ya. Bye-bye.